Live! Believe Nation, happy Friday. Friday's my CEO day. Man, been working on some exciting projects to grow my business. Today's also, we finished up Best Life 30. If anybody joined from the beginning of Best Life 30, yesterday was the last day of the bonuses, and that's it. And so today I'm writing my final email to thank everybody, and it's sad and exciting. Anyway, I'm in the reminiscing and having fun. But we're gonna bring in my friend Mark Drager. We're gonna answer your questions. Oh, I didn't do the thing down below. Okay, hold on. We'll wait for Mark to join. There he is. Okay, hold on. Ask us your questions. Ask us your questions. Let's pin that.
I shaved because yesterday you said, "Why haven't I shaved my head?"
Oh, and he's done it. He's done it.
There you go.
So this is a bonus episode of the Something to Prove Talk, where we get together every week and share insights to help entrepreneurs grow. And now this is a second bonus episode. So
ask your questions below.
Ask your questions below. We'll make it happen. Mark and I are excited to help. So what do we got? Okay.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. How are you being the best CEO?
That's such an interesting question.
How are you being the best CEO, Mark? What do you got?
I was just telling, I've been talking a lot about the fact that I've been running my business for 14 years, but I've been running it as like an owner-operator. I've been running it as an entrepreneur. I've been filling holes and filling gaps and doing all of these things. And I've had big teams and I've had smaller teams, but it just hit me like 6 months ago. It's like, I've never operated as a CEO. From my point of view, a CEO is someone who is the visionary, who is the leader, who sets the direction. I've done that. But they really manage resources effectively, more so than like working on the client work or doing like the nitty gritty work. They're managing resources and vision and direction, and I want to do that better. And so I've been trying to actually trust my team more. I've been trying to allow for little mistakes to happen. I've been trying to step back in some areas so I can spend more time on the vision, more time on the direction, more time managing resources. It's hard.
This is a great question because Friday is my CEO day. So this is where I spend the day just thinking about what are the bigger picture projects to help grow my business. So just before this, I was actually on a call with Mark half an hour ago and working on my next funnel to fix my Movement Makers landing page and get more people into that because it's a very important project for me. I think you need to decide what does CEO mean to you, right? So I was talking to Mark yesterday for our regular episode of the Something to Prove podcast, where he's a sales and marketing driven CEO. He's not an HR driven CEO.
Or operations driven CEO.
Or operations driven CEO, right? So what does being a CEO mean to you? So I look at it as what's a reflection of my actions, right? So I want to spend an entire day every week talking to the people on my team and helping them learn and grow and get better. So I spend all of Monday out connecting with my team. I am still very much in my business on the YouTube side and on the content creation. So I spend all of Tuesday doing that. I want to launch new projects and products and services to help entrepreneurs. And so I spend my Wednesday doing that. I want to be the face of my brand and get my message out there and do interviews and all those. So I spend my Thursdays doing that, right? And then everything else to grow my business on Fridays. So I think it's a reflection of the action that you're putting in every day. So go to your calendar, and that's going to tell you how good a CEO you're being. People who are asking questions, if you use the question box below, that's how we're pulling in from the question box. So Mark wants to say something? You look like you want to say something.
No, I'm along for the ride, man. Let's go.
You're going for the what? The rock? You want the rock?
I'm along for the ride.
Along for the ride. Okay. Okay. I am David Comrie. Hello. Evan, been following for a while. My question is, I'm having difficulties when adding value to my connections, ... I think you got cut off there, but having difficulties adding value to my connections.
So the questions I would have is the easiest way to add value to someone, I think, is to listen, to try to understand their point of view and try to understand what it is they want to accomplish. And so if you can listen to them and try to understand where they're at and what it is that they want to do and what it is they want to accomplish, and you in any way can help them do that. And sometimes that's problem solving, but most of the time it's actually not problem solving. A lot of the times we try to jump in and fix people's problems and tell them what to do and give them advice and, all of these things. But it doesn't, but the best way to help someone sometimes is just to listen to them, just to try to understand, and then maybe point something out, maybe give them some advice or other things like that. I think if you spent more of your time doing that, you would be able to add more value by putting them first, above your goals, above your needs. Just listen, try to understand, try to solve their problems for them, and don't try to get anything out of it.
I'm gonna derail us for a second, but it made me think of a conversation that I want Mark's opinion on. I'm in this pretty elite mastermind group for marketers. Okay, and we meet every Tuesday, and You
shouldn't say pretty elite. You are in an elite. It's an elite group.
It's a very elite group.
We go from pretty to very nice.
It's a very elite group. People, the best of the best in the marketing world of what they're doing. And they're looking at different models of how to run the mastermind group. And they brought up EO and YPO. And so somebody who's been involved in EO, who left, was in the group. And he was part of it for 10 years or something and leading the chapter in one of the cities. Yep. And what he said was, they have a very clear no advice policy.
Yes.
All you can do is share stories.
Yes.
And everybody's like clapping that up. It's like, oh, I really like that. And in my head, I'm thinking that is the most garbage thing I have ever heard.
So it's the only thing. So I was in EO and I just left. I didn't renew. It was the only really large takeaway, maybe I got to try this, experiment with it out of my time with EO. And it's not against EO in any way, but yes, they are the only one, even tech, other type of things, they're the only one who has a no advice. You are not allowed to give advice. But did he give you the breakdown as to why?
No. Oh. So give me the breakdown.
Okay. So
I can imagine, but you explain.
So the idea is that when someone comes to you with a problem and you stop and think of advice, most people are not as good as you because they're not going to be able to wear your skin the way that you do. They're not as empathetic or understanding or have experience. So what you do is by giving advice, you are saying, I am smart, come under me. My advice is valuable. You don't know what you're doing. It comes from actually feeding a place of selfishness and ego and actually puts the other person down a peg to listen. Whereas the idea behind EO is, Evan, you have a problem. You explain to me a problem. I'm going to stop. I'm going to think about a personal story. And I'm going to share with you my story. I'm going to share with you what I learned. And I'm going to share with you the outcome from it. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to assume that you are a smart enough person to hear my story, internalize it, figure out what you want to do with it, and then come back and report later.
It's total garbage. It's total garbage. It's 1,000%. I was so, my blood was boiling like that. This is even in an organization because let's get into it and you can tell me what you think. I didn't get into it on the call, but it's like, this question for whatever reason is bringing it up for me. One, if you're telling a story, newsflash, you're giving advice, right? Like you're telling a story with the purpose of making them take some kind of action.
Yes,
anyway.
But you're not telling them what to do.
But that's total, like, if you want to actually make people better, which is the goal of any kind of group like that, right? To say, you suck at communicating, and instead of teaching you how to be a better communicator, we're going to give you this baby rule and put you in diapers that you can't actually share what you want to say. And on the flip side, to be able to take the advice to say, hey, in some situations, you should be under them. Like, if somebody's coming in and I'm giving you YouTube advice, I'm not going to give it in some little story. I'm going to tell you what's what, and you should listen because I'm amazing at it and you suck. And on the flip side, everything else, you want to teach me how to sell books or all, like when I go to Brendan Burchard's mastermind and I'm talking to Dean Graziosi about book sales, don't give me your garbage story that I have to decipher myself. Like, tell me exactly where I suck. Tell me exactly what I need to do. people are just way too sensitive. And I think if you're an organization that you're trying to help people become leaders, it's backwards. It's negative. You're doing a disservice to people. Like if people then go off and take that to their companies, I think they're teaching their organization to be babies.
Maybe. I mean, listen, you shared on the podcast last week a story about Alex, like thinking that the problems he has is the problems that everyone has, and the advice he's giving is giving advice to people that they don't.
I'm not against storytelling, dude. Storytelling is great.
Okay.
I love storytelling, but not at the expense of giving advice, right? Like the fact that you're not allowed to give somebody advice who you know that you can help. And you need to couch your advice in a story because you're going to hurt that person's feelings is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I'm so like against EO now. It's bonkers. And I would love to have a conversation.
You were already against EO anyway, but
no. Well, I thought you were too good for it. Like I thought I said,
wow, thank you.
I told you're going to go to that group, realize you feel inadequate at the beginning, and then realize the second you realize, oh my God, I'm so much better than these people at the things that you care about. At the things that you don't care about, it doesn't matter because you don't care about it. But the things that you care about, you're so much better than the people already in that group that you're going to leave and it won't be valuable, right? Is that not what happened?
Well, I think that your opinion and advice changed my thinking and mindset. And then, you know what? We're in interesting times, and I'm looking for ways to cut expenses.
God, is that what happened or not? Did you find value in the opinions of the people who you were talking to?
I didn't find enough value from the whole thing.
Yes, so. Perfect, done. Cutting expenses and Jesus, the times that we're in.
That's money.
Great advice. That is great advice. People should give advice. They should train people to listen to advice and how to give advice, not to say no advice, only baby story time telling. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So did you like my advice on how to add value with connection?
Oh, we didn't answer this question. Okay, good.
I said, listen, understand, and try to solve problems.
Yeah, so I like it. People are flaming me in the chat. At least one person, Zed Jackie, is upset that I'm not answering more questions. But this was important. I had fun. I feel like there was value in there. Anyway, good. My advice for you, I'm not going to tell you some story, David, is be their chief goal officer. So you need to understand what do they care about, right? It's reiterating what Mark's saying, right? So what do they care about right now in the moment? And this is a very in the moment kind of thing. So, Brendan Burchard right now, we talked about him. He is writing a new book. He's not looking at any kind of promotion, any kind of opportunities, any kind of interviews, because anything that I would pitch him, dude, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm deep in book writing mode right now. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be me following up with him and me sending him messages. It's actually a negative. But in 3 months or 7 months, whenever he gets his book out, guess what? Now he's in promotion mode. And it's like, I need all the interviews that I can get and exposure, right? So that's being his chief goal officer. You need to understand what they care about right now. And knowing what they might care about in 3 months, but giving them the right, like if you give somebody, a steak when they're full, it's not going to help. But if they're starving, hey, and steak is their favorite food. What I would do is follow them on the social platforms where they're actually posting content themselves, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. More the micro content, though, probably not YouTube because there's a production cycle. Like, what are they posting about? That's what they care about right now. What's the link in their bio? That's what they care about right now. And then you can try to find your way in to be able to help them. The other thing that I do is I pay attention to what they're talking about in conversations, and I look for ways that even if I don't know how to do it, to bring value. So, example, one of my super successful contacts is he's got a case of having low cholesterol, like low of the good cholesterol, like some super specific cholesterol. Low
you did
cholesterol.
This to me the other day.
But
you know that sometimes I have an issue with my back, and you sent me randomly an article on how to exercise with
sciatica. Mark said he had sciatica on some podcast, and I saw an article on sciatica. Now I didn't seek that out. I saw a video, I think, on it, and I sent it to Mark. But this other guy said that he has low, in the past in conversation, talking to somebody else at my table, to the group, but saying that he had low good cholesterol, which is super weird because most people have the high cholesterol he's got anyway. And whatever the name was, I set up a Google News alert for it. And anytime something comes up about that makes sense, right? I send it to him, right? So it's listening for the things that they care about. Like nobody, even though I'm not a medical guy and I don't really understand a lot of this stuff, now I care about that low cholesterol. And so you're listening and paying attention to the conversations. This is where introverts really win because we're good listeners. And trying to find ways that even if you can't add value yourself, you're going to find somebody or find a resource to help them with the problem they're facing. And you're paying attention to what they're posting on social and what the link in their bio is right now, and then seeing a way that you can bring value to them too. Make sense? Oh, Zed Jackie now says Evan for president. He went from hating on me for not answering more questions to Evan for president. I can't do that though. I'm Canadian. Wow. Now we have 29 more questions that have been added. Okay. Rapid fire. Listen, that EO conversation.
Let's go.
I'm very excited. Okay. Chowhan. I don't know. I hope I didn't butcher it. What book should I prefer for network marketing entrepreneur as a newcomer student?
I don't know any specific network marketing books, but I would say that anything that will help you understand people better. So, for example, building a story brand. I don't have a copy of it here. Building a story brand, which just helps you understand that, how to explain in 5 simple steps your story to your target audience is something that I think can work for anyone who wants to get better at marketing or explaining their brand. It's like so simple. The more that you can come to understand the people that you're talking to. So Power of Habit, Your One Word. What other books do I have here? Radical Candor. Anytime that you need to be able to connect with people better, because that's really what networking marketing is about. It's about being able to understand people, being able to connect with people, being able to share a story with them, to give them hope, to be able to coach them through challenging times. That any books that will help you become better with people will help you in your business, but then will also help you in your future.
Yeah, I haven't read any books on network marketing. I think the last section of Built to Serve would be really helpful for you. Network marketing, the biggest problem is storytelling. Why you? Like there's a million other people who are also selling the same thing. And most people get into network marketing actually don't even have a story. You're doing it because most people, I'm not saying you, most people just see it as some way to make extra money. But you've never used the product, you've never used the service, you don't actually have a connection to the product or service, which sucks. Like you have to actually use it in your life and have gotten a result that you want to then recommend it to your best friend or to your mom or to people in your life because of the great results that they've gotten. So being able to tell your story and your connection to the product or service, this is why network marketing gets such a bad rap. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just a business model. Most people get into it, don't actually use the stuff that they're selling. So you need to get out of that by actually showing how you do it. And I don't read a lot of books, but the last section of Built to Serve I think would be really helpful for you.
Evan's answer for any book question should be Built to Serve or Your One Word.
Is it not? Like, well, Your One Word is okay, but I think the last section of Built to Serve is highly helpful. Okay, Victor, how to be more genuine in front of the camera. I really feel awkward in front of the camera.
Yeah, so it's just comes down to doing it more. Like it's one of those things where when you first hear your voice for the first time on a recording, when you're young or whatever, you go like, is that my voice? Is that what I sound like? And if you listen to your voice enough, you just stop paying attention. If you record yourself enough time, you may realize you say or like. Something I say all the time is right. When I don't even know what I'm just talking, I say right a lot as like a question, but I only caught it when I heard myself. But the same thing is true for speaking on camera, like looking into the lens, smiling, trying to feel a certain way. It's going to feel fake. It's going to feel ridiculous. It feels terrible. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to suck at it. You just have to do it more, like a lot every day. You have to practice every day because there was a time, I'm gonna steal something from someone else. There was a time, I'm sure, where walking felt pretty awkward. It felt pretty silly. You fell down a lot. You weren't good at it. Do you even think about walking today? Do you think about breathing today? Or is it just something that you do? And so spend enough time at it that you just get really, really comfortable knowing you're going to suck at it first.
Oh, hello? We back? We're back.
I'm here. We've been here the whole time.
I would expect to suck, like expect to feel awkward. Go back and watch. This is why I still have all my videos up. Go back and watch my first video. Mark, I don't know how long. What was your first video? How long ago was it? Is it all part of your new stuff, or do you have something that's super old?
Oh yeah, it would be like on the original, like it would be on Fanta's YouTube channel probably.
Anyway,
I don't know, 2013,
like, go
2011.
back and watch my old stuff. It sucks. You're supposed to suck. Expect to be awkward. Don't judge yourself so harshly for being awkward the first time out, or the first 10 times out, or the first 100 times out, right? It was 350 videos for me until I wasn't completely embarrassed by my videos. Completely embarrassed.
Evan was so bad. Evan was so bad.
Mark was there for the first one.
Like, no, the first one was good because I was there, and then it got worse.
Wow, Mark. Wow, Drinker. Okay, all right. But you can go back and watch all of them, and I was bad, and it was 350 public videos until I wasn't totally embarrassed by my own content. Like I couldn't watch it back. It was too.
Here's a better story. Here's a better story, Evan. When you first hired your agent, they made you work on your origin story, and you recorded it and put it up live, and you recorded it and put it up live. How many times did you record and re-record like a 20-minute story in a single day? Do you remember?
Oh, in a single day, 3 times.
Okay.
Overall, like 30 to 40 times just to get my foundation story out.
And I remember at the time going, wait, you're making these all public? You're uploading like the same story over and over and over again? But you, Evan, right? Evan Carmichael, the person that we all come to and whatnot and like and adore and all this stuff. You worked on something like the same story 40 times or something? It's crazy.
And I was already years in on my channel.
You were far enough along to already get an agent. That's how far enough along into this you were.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people think this comes naturally or easy to people, and they don't realize that Evan is an introvert. When I met him, he didn't talk for the first 5 years, and you know, you sucked to begin with. You were big enough to get an agent, and you still had to take 40 swings at trying to nail a story on video camera because you just weren't very good at it.
And keep going, guys, and you keep going. Like the fact that it's awkward means you keep doing it.
See, no advice there. I told a story. See how good that was?
There's nothing wrong with stories, Mark. I love stories. My thought leadership template is stories. But not to be able to give any advice is just stupid. It's bad training. It's just bad training. It's really bad training. Okay. Alistair, I used vidIQ, but it's difficult to find videos with more views, less subs ratio. Any advice?
I don't.
Okay, this is a specific topic. I
think
I covered this yesterday.
For boot, right?
No, I did this. I covered this yesterday on my channel. I think.
Okay, go for it.
On the IG Live. So vidIQ is a plugin you can put into YouTube, and when you do any search, it shows you the number of subscribers that channel has. Mm. So what I want for small channel, how do I blow up a small channel? You look for videos that have more views than subscribers. If it has more views than subscribers, that means that video popped really hard for that channel. It got more views than it should have because it's more than subscribers. The answer is to go more niche. So whatever, I don't know what your topic is going to be. So if you're doing, we did it yesterday. Yesterday was upcycling was the topic. If you just did upcycling alone, you may not find a lot of videos because it's a big keyword. You may not find a lot of videos that has that ideal ratio of more views than subscribers. But if you did upcycling, I forget what we did, upcycling jeans, upcycling men's shirts, upcycling whatever, then you get more specific and you'll see some very clear examples. So just add a second or third word to your main topic and you'll find some better examples.
Good advice, Evan.
All right. All right. Vishal, good advice. Yeah, let me tell a story. How to be constantly motivated. Mark, how do you be constantly motivated?
Let me tell you a story. No. For me, it comes down to how I feel. So if I'm excited about what I'm doing, if I believe that it matters, if I believe that the work that I'm doing or the day that I'm having, I've made progress in, I've grown or I've contributed to, if I feel close to family or friends, all of those things inspire me and motivate me. I think what you need to ask yourself is, honestly, I think people are looking for this constantly motivated. And what I try to do is stretch out the amount of time between not being motivated. So if you are motivated for a day, and then the next day you feel terrible and terrible and terrible, and then you have another good day, I'd want to stretch it out to like, how can you feel motivated for 2 or 3 days in a row? And how can you be motivated for like a week? How can you be motivated for a week and a half or 2 weeks? But there are the bad days. Everyone talks about the days where you just question what you're doing and why are you doing it, and can you even do it, and all of these things. And so I focus on energy. I focus on how I feel. If I'm not motivated, I'll go for a run. I'll put on music. I'll try to have a conversation with someone that I know will fire me up. I try to think of the most exciting thing that I can do right now that I just really want to do to feed my soul, and then I go out and do that. Those are the things that I do to try and. What are you smiling about?
Feed my soul. I like it. This is not very Jaeger talk. I like it.
That's how I stay motivated.
I think it begins with actually enjoying the work that you're doing. That to Mark's point about energy, that gives you energy, right? This is not something like, oh, come on, I got to talk to Draeger at 2:00 and do a stupid IG live. Why that? Right? No, I'm going to leave this, bless you, Nina, with more energy than when I came in, right? In the work that I'm doing, I'm, for the most part, taking on projects that give me energy instead of take away. Inside of running the business, there's going to be so many crappy things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. But overall, it should be work. You should be around people. You should be building a life that you love the process of actually doing it. And then step 2 is when you're dealing with something that's crap, you use that as motivation to show yourself what you can do. Like, this is my chance to show myself. This is what I do. At least this is my chance to show myself what I'm made of, that is possible, that I'm capable. Let's go, because you do difficult things.
Beautiful. Got time for one more.
Okay, one more.
Rapid.
Okay, important things you have to do every day.
Drink water as soon as you wake up. Get sunlight towards morning time and towards evening time. At least go for a walk if you can, and make sure you get enough sleep.
One of mine is drink water sip water by the sun, in the sun. So I drink water, I combine it. Sit by the window and I drink the water. The most important thing is, whatever the thing is that gets you feeling bold, confident, powerful, unstoppable, don't randomly hope that happens to you today. Put it into your morning routine every single day. Are we done, or you want one more?
No, rapid fire.
Oh, okay. I thought you said one more. Okay. Marley. Oh, Marley O'Nair. Pitching to a potential client without a product.
So I don't know what you're asking, but maybe for advice, be open with where you're at in the process. Don't try to hide. They're gonna see if you're nervous. They're gonna see if you're scared. They're gonna see if you're trying to hide something. They're gonna see if you don't have your stuff together yet. So just be very open and transparent with where you are, that why you believe what you believe, why you are confident in what you're doing, and have them buy into the moment of time you're in, not the product that you don't have, right? So people are buying into you, and they're buying into the progress and the potential and where you could be going in your intentions. That's what they have to have confidence in, not the thing that you don't yet have.
Yeah, and you use the early stage-ness as in a strength. As your thing seen as a weakness, use it as a strength. We haven't built it yet. I want to build it around you. What are you struggling with? What are your problems? What are you going through right now? And how can I customize this thing, this solution for you, or nobody else would customize it for them? They get an off-the-shelf product. With you, we get it customized. Yeah? Okay, last one, Mark. Visual Person 0391. How do you know a paid self-improvement program is legit? Thank you, guys.
Listen, I don't know if you can, right? You can try and read as many reviews as you can, but sometimes reviews aren't truthful. Here's what I would do. For reviews, I would look to see how many negative reviews they are, and I would see how many positive reviews they are, and I would kind of not look at the ratio, but I would say, are the negative reviews things I even care about? Are they even important to me? And are the positive reviews things that I care about, and are they important to me? And I just try to see what seems the most authentic, right? Anything that only has positive reviews, I don't think that's very truthful. Anyone who's willing to give negative reviews, I think that's very truthful. And if the negative reviews are things that aren't important to me or I don't care about, if I'm going to, like, if this was a hotel and they said, oh, at the hotel, they make you wake up at 11 a.m. Well, I get up at 6 a.m. So I don't really care about that, right? At least they're being truthful. At least they're being honest. There's positives, there's negative reviews. That's what I would do.
So those paid self-improvement programs, what I would do is all of these guys who are selling paid programs also have free stuff. And start on the free stuff and work your way in, right? So the most expensive thing I sold was my Thought Leadership Academy with 3 days of spending time with me, thousands of dollars to come to Toronto. Don't do that if you don't know me. Like, don't make decisions like that, right? Like, step one is consume this person on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you're hanging out. And are you getting value? Like, here, this is free value right here. Apply what we've taught and put it into your business. And if it works, great, come back. If it doesn't, then never talk to Evan and Mark again and go find somebody else who's going to help you, right? Like, there's lots of people. Start with their free stuff. Step two is then buy the entry-level thing. For me, it's the book, right? Most people will have a book too. $15, $27, like whatever it is. Spend $25 on them. You got value in the free. Buy the book. Is it good? Is it helpful? Is it a piece of garbage that you don't relate to, right? And then go get the next thing. Like, you slowly work your way up. For me, the next thing would be Movement Bakers, right? $49 a month. You've consumed the free. You got the book. $49 a month. Right? And proving value along the way. Then if you want to come to Toronto and spend $1,000, great. It's worth it. But don't go off and spend $8,000 for a coaching program with somebody who you don't know and haven't consumed any of their content or their intro packages first, right? Make them prove to you that they're giving you value every single step along the way. So it becomes a no-brainer investment. Okay. Something for podcast, Mark. Where are they going?
They can find it on Apple Podcast, on Google, on Stitcher, on any of the places where you find a podcast. Just search for Something to Prove podcast. The longer form conversations with me and Evan, we dig into all kinds of fun things and you learn a lot more about him and, well, a lot more about me as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. See you guys Monday. Believe.